news. She said to pick her up, but that's a bad call. Timing, I don't wanna regret it when it goes wrong. Yeah, well she's in my car, but she's out of my league. Only in my arms temporarily.
Hello. So I don't often film at the weekend. I usually just do B-roll footage. But you know, I said in last week's vlog, which as I'm saying that to you, that's at least a week ago, depending on when you watched it. Not at least a week ago, because you might have only watched it yesterday. But yeah, to me, I literally finished filming last night and I was moaning about waiting on parcels. And then these came today. So thought we'd try and unbox them with you without showing my address, but I'm really out of breath. We've literally just been for a walk around a shopping centre. I've been in approximately 3 shops. I feel like I've run a marathon. One of those shops being Tesco, which is always a lot at the weekend, but we had a few bits that we'd run out of. I'll show you a clip in a minute of how bloated my belly is, and yeah, baggy dresses for the win. I am going to get into my pyjamas in approximately 25 seconds after I finish filming this, so let's get on with it. So I have 2 parcels from Waterstones. I can't remember what these are. I did a big pre-ordering spree last year when Waterstones had their triple points event. I think if you spent £100, and I went through and pre-ordered from mostly my Instabuy authors. I am going to do a sit down video soon with Instabuy authors, so not sure what these are, but let's get into them. Am I going to do this in one swipe? Why is it always so satisfying to do it and to watch somebody doing it in one swipe? Oh, got it off in one. Oh, so this is one that I've been really interested in. It's also, I think it was nominated for the Booker Prize. Oh yeah, longlisted for the Booker Prize and winner of the Desmond Elliott Prize, which I'm going to admit I've never ever heard of. Oh God, it was longlisted for the Booker Prize, winner of the Desmond Elliott Prize, shortlisted for the Goldsmith. Okay, basically it's been shortlisted for a lot of prizes. And that's Maps of Our Spectacular Bodies by Maddie and Mortimer. I don't really know a lot about this one, other than a lot of people that I watch with chronic illness have said that this is really interesting in that way. So I have been waiting for it to come out in paperback. So hopefully I will get to that one soon. Next one, are we going to do it in one again? Can I hold it up and do it? I bet the one that you're watching, can't even get, ow. I don't know why I haven't got the strength for this today. Did you see that? Off in one again. So this is... so this is a book that I have read. So this doesn't actually count towards my TBR, thank goodness. But I collect all of Clare Mackintosh's books in paperback because I don't think I've given a single one of her books less than 4 stars. So yeah, I do like to support my favourite authors, and like I say, my Instabuy authors. If I had the funds, I would literally pre-order every book that I enjoy. But I'm also trying to get better at not holding on to books that I won't reread, but Clare Mackintosh I will definitely reread at some point. This next parcel, I hope it's as exciting to you guys as it is to me, because yeah, I have I get carers allowance, and I'm trying to put a pot together of savings, but I'm also trying to let myself have a little bit of money to spend each week, which this is what this came out of. I'm really finding it hard to spend money on myself at the moment, because with bills and everything going up, I'd rather have that kind of buffer. So like at the end of each month, both Tom and Nana put money into like a food and household bills pot, and if there's anything left over in that each month, I like to put it away so that I've always got that buffer. I'm really worried about money at the moment, and I know that I'm in a really privileged position that I can still afford to do nice things, but I'm always just anxious that at any moment that will get taken away. So I'm a bit squirreling money away. Anyway, that's a separate issue. So this is something that I've wanted for a long while, and This was about £3 or £4 in the sale. So even with delivery cost, it was less than £10. And this is a water resistant speaker. I wanted this. It's a Bluetooth speaker. It says take music into the shower with this water resistant rechargeable portable speaker. I bought this to listen to audiobooks in the shower because when I really get into an audiobook, I never want to stop. So I thought this was a really pretty pattern. I will test that out later. And then last but not least, I have a thing that I bought. So I used to watch with envy people who were subscribed to kind of Fairy and Illumicrate, but although I have dipped in and out of fantasy, I knew that fantasy wasn't really the genre for me. And so when I saw Illumicrate Afterlife, I was like, oh wow, that would be for me. And I was on the waiting list for a while and I finally got through. And so I almost showed you my thing then. So let's unbox this together. If you don't want spoilers, I would skip ahead because I know not everybody, well, you might already have this box. If you're waiting for your box when you see this, I really need to get one of those letter opener things because I'm struggling. If it wasn't for the fact that Nana is literally asleep the other side of that wall, I would shout to Tom to get me a knife. But that's the next thing on my list of things to get, is a letter opener. Or a box cutter, you know, those sharp things. We're getting there now. Right, so this is how it comes. And it says... So I had seen a spoiler for the book, and it's For Her Consideration by Amy Spalding. I had started to read this, and I wasn't sure. Put it that way. I was a little bit bored, but as I've got a special edition, I think I will give it another go. You can skip boxes with Illumicrate Afterlife, which I may do going forward. However, you can't skip your first one. So let's see what's in here. This is quite heavy, so it looks like it's going to be... Oh, it's a mug. Is it? Oh, it's like I was just about to say, I have lots of mugs, but this is gorgeous. This is like frosted glass. Oh, I really love that. That will be good for like hot toddies and things. And it's got like Oscars. It's got a cat on it. I mean, yeah, you can live there for now, I think. And then there's the book. So what is this? This I'm not overly keen on. It's like a glasses case, but I prefer the kind of hard cases because I tend to sit on things. It does say on here, so this glasses case was designed by JK from Creative Wannabe. It says store your sunglasses in this Art Deco themed case, ready to use when you feel like shielding from the paparazzi. So I get the connection, but yeah, not for me, that one. That will probably end up in a charity shop. Okay, two things I've spotted at once. I was getting the book out, but there's a print which looks absolutely stunning. I did buy the print for, what's the book called now? Make You Mine This Christmas. But look at that for a stunning print. I mean, it's sapphic, it's plus size. I feel like I should really love this book. Like, it's got all the things on paper that I would love. So we will give it a go. It says, dear readers, actually I'm not going to read the whole thing for you, but this is from Amy Spalding, the author. And then let's have a look. I love that they are these kind of small hardbacks that you get. I mean, just look at that. Isn't she absolutely gorgeous? It says, Ari locked her grey blue eyes on mine. We both laughed at the exact same moment, and somehow it felt safe despite all the reasons it shouldn't have been. Yeah, we're going to definitely give that one another go. So I will insert a clip now just showing you what my belly is like at the moment, in case you wanted to see that. But then I'm going to get in my pyjamas and go and read on the sofa. Might look all right from the front, can you see this here that sticks out? It doesn't look as bad on here. But this is how bloated I am right now. And I don't think you can see very well on camera. There's a little bit like here that sticks out in a funny shape. So yeah, that's a fun thing to live with. But baggy dresses are perfect for IBS because this wasn't there when I got dressed a couple of hours ago.
She looks pretty when she grits her teeth, 'cause her boyfriend sucks and she knows he cheats. Cries on my shoulder but I can't see why she's not with me. She looks funny when she bites her tongue, 'cause she likes my lips but she won't move on. She said just friends and I can't see why. Her phone rings, but I really think she's gonna let it buzz out. Well, how sweet, I think I know what's on her mind, just say it out loud. Yeah, well she's in my car, but she's out of my league, only in my arms temporarily. She looks pretty when she grits her teeth, 'cause her boyfriend sucks and she knows he cheats. Cries on my shoulder but I can't see why she's not with me. She looks funny when she bites her tongue, 'cause she likes my lips but she won't move on. She said just friends and I can't see why she's not with me. What if I only like her because she's out of my grip? No, if she gave me the chance, I know that I wouldn't slip, because she holds on to something I know she never wanted. Yeah, I should probably leave, but she's leaning in. Oh, she's in my car, but she's out of my
Good afternoon. I'm a little bit snotty. It has been a week. I think you'll have seen from the clips that on Tuesday I was feeling like a hashtag girl boss. I put the washing out on the line for the first time in ages. I did Pilates, and then no, I think that was Monday. And then Tuesday was a little bit like I thought I'd maybe push myself too far in regards to chronic illness life. And then Wednesday I just hit a wall with this cold, flu, whatever it is, and spent all of Wednesday, most of yesterday in bed. Yeah, it's just been one of those weeks. But before I wrap up for the week, I have got some Bookmail to share with you. And thanks to the power of Scribd and audiobooks, this is not sponsored, but if you do want to try out Scribd, I have a code below always for a free, I think you get a free 60 days and I get a free 30 days. So always more than happy to be sharing that code. I finished 4 books this week. So shall we start with them and then go on to the Bookmail? So the first one that I finished wasn't via Scribd. This was a complete comfort read that I read yesterday, and that is Jane Hiss's Old Bear Stories. Now, I read these as a child and decided to buy myself this a few weeks ago because, yeah, I just needed that nostalgia. And after reading this, I went and sat and watched some of the Old Bear cartoons on YouTube, and then went down a little bit of a rabbit hole. Did anybody else watch The Story Store? I loved it as a kid. Maybe I'll leave a link below so you know what I'm talking about. But I rewatched it yesterday and generally felt like I was hallucinating. It was rather strange. And it's Alan Bennett that was the narrator on it, which I just thought, yeah, that just blew my mind that something that I loved as a child was Alan Bennett narrating it. So all three of these I kind of hybrid read. I read a little bit physically, and then when I was feeling like I couldn't either keep my eyes open or I couldn't concentrate, I stuck the audiobook on. And the first is The King is Dead by Benjamin Dean. And now this was touted everywhere as being Gossip Girl meets something. I can't remember what it was. And I really think the Gossip Girl comparison is a bit misleading. So the only two things about this that I could say made me think of Gossip Girl were the fact that the journalist in this is called somebody Buckley, and I know the Buckleys were the Archibald's enemy in Gossip Girl, and there's a pool party in this which made me think of that one episode of Gossip Girl. But actually I really enjoyed this one. I think I gave it a 4-star overall, because actually I felt like it was wrapped up a little bit too neatly. The premise is that, as the title suggests, the king is dead and his 18-year-old son, I think he's about 17 or 18-year-old son has to step into the position of king, but he is black, which has always not been accepted by the British public, and also he's queer, which is a secret that he's trying to keep hidden. Now, there were a few comments in this that were very similar to the way that Meghan Markle was treated by the British public. There was a comment about, so the king that's died is white and their mum is black, and there was a comment by one of the characters about what colour they would be or what shade they would be, which I believe that Prince Philip made a comment like that when Meghan was pregnant with Archie. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one. The only thing that let it down for me, well, two things really. One of them is totally me. I kept forgetting that this was set in our world, so it's set in Buckingham Palace, and I think it's because it had very similar vibes to A Curse So Dark and Lonely, so I kept expecting there to be this like magical element that wasn't there. Now that was never advertised to be there or anything, it was just a total meeting. And secondly, I think it was all wrapped up a bit too neatly. I think that there was so much that could have been explored here that, had it been a duology or a trilogy, would have explored further. However, 4 stars, and I'm not going to be keeping this one as I don't think I'll read it again. I then read Rainbow Grey Battle for the Skies, and let me just share with you, is that not the coolest sprayed edge ever? Can't really give too much away from this, as it is the third in a, I don't know if it's finished now, because there were some things about this that I thought, you know what, this could carry on and be a series. So hopefully there is more to come from Rainbow Grey. But it also, if it doesn't continue, the trilogy has finished nicely. But what I will say about this one, although I'm saying that I don't want to give spoilers for the other two, I actually think that the author did really well at the beginning of this to kind of wrap up what had happened in the last 2 books. So if you did just go straight into this one, or you've got a child that went straight into this one, or if, like me, your memory of previous books is a bit wishy-washy, this was really good, and I gave this 5 star. And then this book that I have just the second finish is Sarah Vaughan's Anatomy of a Scandal, and wow, this went dark, this went deep, gave it 5 star. It says, a high-profile marriage thrust into the spotlight, a prosecutor who believes justice has been a long time coming, a scandal that will rock Westminster, and the women caught at the middle of it. And I will say that this very much focused on the women in this case. So it followed the stories of Kate, the barrister. It followed Sophie, it's really hard because I don't want to say what happened, but there are massive, massive trigger warnings for sexual assault, which needs to be said. So James, who is something in politics, is accused of rape, and it really shows the trial and how they pick apart the victim. And I like that although it's his trial, the author doesn't focus on him. It's more focused on the people the women surrounding it. And yeah, this was a really, really good book. It's the second Sarah Vaughan that I read. I read Reputation last year and again gave that a 5 star. That was my top
non-romance of last year. Sorry, my brain's a bit fried right now. And yeah, that was, like I say, that was a very, very heavy book, but I have read it in about 3 days, so it was meant to be. I'm not going to share my book mail with you now. I just need to go and lie down. I don't feel very well at all. But I hope you've enjoyed this week's weekly vlog, and hopefully I will feel a bit better for next time. But thank you for watching. Bye.